Welcome back. Alright, everybody, this is the 5 best things about van life that we experienced. Hit it.
Hit it.
That was the best intro I've ever given. You're not gonna use it.
So guys, welcome to this video where we're going to be going over the 5 best things about van life. In the previous video, we went over the top 5 worst things. So if you haven't checked that out already, go check it out after this video. And yeah, without further ado, number 1.
Your backyard is the best place ever.
What does that even mean?
What's the saying?
Home is where you park it.
Home is where you park it. There we go. Yeah. Home is where you park it. Number 1.
So yeah, with the van, you can just drive literally anywhere you want, throw it in park, and that's home for the night. It just opens up so many possibilities and doesn't tie you down to hotels or wherever else you could stay. You can just drive, like if you want to do a trailhead for sunrise, instead of having to wake up at like 3 a.m. and drive for a couple hours and then get there and then hike, you can just park right where you're starting the hike and you're already there. So yeah, you can pick a new backyard every single day.
Especially like we got to open up the back doors.
Yeah.
To places that are super awesome, like in Oregon.
What was your favorite spot?
Probably like Lost Lake. That was awesome. And the best sunset ever.
Yeah.
Picture, insert.
Yeah. That spot was really cool, and like throughout the entire trip, like anytime we saw a cool view or something, we just pull the van over and that's home for the night. Like, for example, in Arches National Park, we went to Delicate Arch for sunset. We shot there, and normally we'd have to go back to Moab, which is like a 45-minute drive, stay in a hotel, and then we wanted to shoot sunrise the next day. But instead of having to drive 45 minutes back, pay for a hotel, then drive another 45 minutes, we just stayed in Arches. Not totally sure if that's legal or not, but nobody said anything to us.
We were shooting astrophotography.
Yeah, we were shooting astrophotography, so that's a very valid excuse. But yeah, the next morning we just woke up, drove like 15 minutes, and we were at the next spot.
Number 2. The people you meet. I love people.
Yeah, so number 2 is just being able to meet so many amazing people from all over. Especially with the van too, like wherever we would park and have the doors open, people would just come up to us and want to check it out. They were like, what is this? Like, did you guys build this yourself? I think that was the most asked question by far.
And if we would build them a van.
Yeah. we have a long list of people that want us to build them a van.
Want to convert it.
Yeah. And when people would come up, always the first thing they would notice is Nicole's spice rack. Literally every single time you could predict, like, if they're gonna come up, they're gonna be like, oh, nice van. And then the first thing is like, wow, that's an amazing spice rack.
Yeah. They love the mason jars.
Yeah.
For example, when we're in Natural Bridges, we stop. Okay. For example, when we went to Natural Bridges.
You left first on that one.
Because you're like. Sorry. For example, when we went to Natural Bridges, we got to meet this other photographer, and we ended up traveling with him for a lot of our Oregon coast trip. So that was super awesome to be able to meet him, and we also met a bunch of other content creators too on that trip that we traveled with for a little bit. Yeah, so it's just awesome to meet all different types of people.
And if you have like friends anywhere in the vicinity, like she had a really good friend from high school that lived in Portland, and we were in the area. We just drove to Portland, parked the van there.
Got to see her.
And then when we were in Washington, we stayed with my family. We just drove the van out to they have a property on a lake and a boat, and they do a bunch of like wakeboarding, wake surfing and stuff. And they invited us, so we just drove the van out there, got to see them.
Yep.
New people, old people, you just meet so many cool people. Cut.
So, number 3. Only having what you need. Yeah, it was just like super nice. Before we went on our trip, we kind of just like narrowed down what it was that we needed in the van and what we didn't. And it was nice to not be crammed with like a bunch of stuff or having, oh, I need this or I need that, when you already have everything that you possibly could need.
Yeah, you just can really narrow down all the stuff that you 100% need, and you just don't have room for anything else. And even like being in a house back home, you just like, I think for both of us, it's like you look around and there's so much stuff like that you're not using, and it's just kind of overwhelming sometimes just thinking of all the stuff that you have. But when you're in the van, you just have what you need. And if you don't use something for a while, like you get rid of it because it's just taking up space in the van. So it kind of just really makes you audit everything that you actually need. I did make room for like 10 drones.
He had our utensils drawer. You know how the utensil drawer is usually the first drawer? He had that as his drone drawer. For the longest time.
Yeah, it's gotta be convenient. I gotta be able to grab my drones and go.
I get that. No, I totally understand. Even when we talked about it with other people, they were like, why isn't your silverware in the top drawer? And I was like, that's Danny's drone drawer.
Yeah, it was like drones first, and then like in the kitchen, obviously, silverware. It's like one of the only things you need is just like drones and then silverware.
Yeah.
But I switched it.
Yeah.
After a significant amount of complaints by
you also,
everyone.
I think you also agreed because you would open up the first drawer sometimes when we were about to eat dinner.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh shit, this is my drone drawer.
All right, getting into number 4.
You're basically outside all the time. So that's really awesome. Like you're always getting that nice fresh air.
Yeah, like even when you're like cooking dinner and stuff, you just leave the door open and you feel like you're cooking outside. And you can pick where that is. You want to be in the forest, you just park in the forest. Or when we were in Oregon on the coast, we just parked the van right next to the ocean and we were cooking, hanging out, editing, just listening to the ocean. The point of the van is to get outside and to do the stuff outside the van. The van is just a way to get you there, basically. So yeah, we just in general spend a lot more time outside.
Yeah.
All right.
5, freedom! To do whatever you want, when you want.
Yeah, and you just have everything you need. Like in the van, you have everything you need for pretty much anything that would happen. So if randomly you get invited to go drive to another state or something, you can just, everything you have and everything you need is in this little capsule, so you can just drive there pretty much the whole trip. Like we could just pick and choose, like, oh, today let's go this way, today let's go this way.
Well, yeah, that happened with your family when they invited us to go boating. We were totally on the opposite side and we were like, and then we just went. That was so nice to just like, if stuff like that happens, we can just be like, near. Zoom on out of there.
Yeah, we were on the Olympic Peninsula and we planned all these places, but we didn't realize that the Indian reservation there, just because coronavirus, the whole Indian reservation was closed. And that same day, my family invited us to go boating with them at the lake that they stay by, and so we were just like, sure.
Let's frickin' do it.
Let's do it. And
yeet it around.
Yeah, we pulled off the highway, turned around, and drove like 5 hours to get there. It was like super hot in Utah, like we were talking about in the first video, if you haven't checked that out.
Yeah.
And so it was super hot, so we were like, okay, we need to get out of this. We need to go to the Pacific Northwest. So we stopped in LA for a little bit, and then we just skirted up to the Pacific Northwest, and it was perfect up there. This winter, we were talking about potentially driving down to Mexico when it's cold here. At least I was.
I still don't know how I feel about it. But yeah.
I was talking about going down to Baja. I don't know if you're coming.
You know, I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Overall, everyone, there's always pros and cons to everything. But van life has been honestly so great. And it teaches you so much about yourself individually, because you just have to adapt to so many different situations. And just meeting so many awesome people is just amazing always.
Every day is new, every day is exciting, and when you're back home, it's super easy to get in like a routine, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
But
I love my routine.
It's good to have both. But yeah, days just fly by when you're doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
But in the van, every single day is different. There's always like surprises around every single corner, and it's just exciting and fun. And also it just really teaches you how much you actually use. So when you have to fill up your water tank every time that you go through it all, it makes you really conscious of how much water you're using. So like for example, at home, like when I'm doing dishes, I just flip the water on and just let it run the whole time and scrub and everything. But in the van, it's like a little bit here, scrub, a little bit here, there. Electricity too, it was nice being totally off the grid, so didn't feel super guilty using electricity at all.
Yeah. And same with the food, like you learn how to not have so much food just sitting in your refrigerator. Especially with us, because ours was so small and we couldn't fit that much in. We only could like pack for like what we were gonna eat that morning and at night.
And you just don't have a lot of space, so you have to know exactly what you have.
Yeah, it definitely helps you learn how to not do as much waste, which was so awesome.
That is top 5 best things about living the van life. Nicole still has her hospital bracelet on. She's probably gonna keep it on there permanently now.
I'm still patient, guys. I will take it off when I have succeeded.
But yeah, so we have trips planned in the
Yep.
future in the van. Definitely taking a break now with Nicole's injury and everything.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I just got my little ball here.
So if you guys want to go check out Nicole's recovery process too,
It's on TikTok.
she's posting a bunch of TikToks about it like every day.
It's my process through this whole thing because
Yeah.
I'm bored and he's leaving soon, so I'm gonna be alone.
Yeah, I'm headed off soon, but you have Gary.
Daily conversations with Gary. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
This outro's so long now.
Well, it ended a long time ago. We just keep talking. Well, you just
proper
didn't
outro.
clap.
Yeah, I need a clap. I need a clap.
Okay.
Alright guys, that is it for this video. Like I said, if you want to check out Nicole's TikTok with her recovery videos, there. Check out my Instagram here, and we'll see you on the next video.
You always have to clap.
Good!
That's the only way you feel like
Good.
that is if you clap.